What's going on, everybody? My name is Peter. I'm your host of Unrestricted. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to make a video response to TheQuartering's video about some kind of hub issue that he says the leftists are just melting down over it. So let's watch the video. For the sake of time, just speed it up a little bit.
What's on, everyone? Jeremy from The Quartering.
What's wrong, everyone? I've never heard that intro before, but pretty cool.
And if you've been following the news, you saw that a certain hub was, well, left. The media is saying that it was shut down in Texas. And so
it did leave, actually. It didn't shut down.
So the left is trying to phrase this as like a First Amendment issue or, a conservative issue, or the fact of the matter is.
Well, when you say left, how do you come up with that? Some people are not leftists, but they're also against that. Do you realize that? Or you just try to make it a right-left wing issue, which is a false dichotomy.
What weirdos are not telling you is that all they were asked to do was to make sure that, do the absolute bare minimum, to make sure that people who were too young for their content on the website, they weren't marketing to them, they weren't letting them on the website.
How about the privacy breach that it causes to people who are adults? Do you think that's a breach of privacy?
Instead of doing that, instead of, putting in some verifications to make sure that, someone who's 8 might not, be on your website, they just...
What about all the other websites? What about all the other hubs that have no age verification other than maybe a banner? Just have a banner for age verification that you click enter and that's it. What about those sites? Are you okay with them? Do they harm the kids if you really care about the kids?
Decided to go on a multi-day tantrum complaining about it, trying to pretend it's a free speech issue. A bunch of weirdos online are...
It is, because if the government takes control of something and the parents aren't, do you think that is not a problem that the government is overreaching? And why would the government do that and not the parents? Do you think the parents don't have control over their kids, or they are begging the government because they're normies?
Are curiously very upset that kids can't watch this stuff, and the whole reaction's been very bizarre to me. I'll first admit that, look.
And that is, we're gonna come to realize that what he says is actually not true. In the tweets he posts, there's nothing about the minors part. There's nothing about the kids part. So I'm not sure what part he actually mentions, because I think that people were melting down in the comments about it, but there's not a mention about kids.
Look, this isn't gonna stop kids from getting access to these type of videos.
Voila.
Never has, never will. VPNs are a thing. Not just that, but you obviously have wide variety of other options available. I think it's totally unreasonable to think that kids aren't going to get access to this kind of stuff. Thing is, in my age, it was like one kid got a skin mag from his dad, and you all saw, that. Now it's like hardcore DP.
Oh, really? So that makes a difference. So it's a soft versus a hardcore. That makes the difference, right? So if it was soft, it's fine. The kid can access it. Is that what you're saying, really? That's a shame.
It's a little different. But ever since then, the website has been completely melting down, and leftists have been very curiously upset on why kids can't get access to it.
Why kids? This is very disingenuous, because at no point in this tweet that I'm reading right now says anything about the kids.
This individual is trans, and a writing lead at a place called Masks of Power, and they are very upset.
They are very upset. I like that.
Kids won't have
interesting though
access to this website. I think that's pretty odd. Sarah Fields tweets this. Shout out Sarah Fields. If you live in Texas, this is what the hub site looks like. One giant temper tantrum because they had to place an age restriction on their website. Blah, 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 blah. And in fact, we'll put minors and your privacy at risk.
And your privacy at risk. She literally quotes what's in there in the second paragraph, the last few words. She doesn't say anything about minors particularly. That's what the hub says. You're being disingenuous, and you can see the comments are... Actually, I'd say that people like you are melting down. Not them, you are melting down over their comments. Although at no point they mention anything about they're mad that kids don't have access to that. I think it's you that is melting down over something that they actually didn't say specifically. This could be also an age restriction issue that someone is mad at because it puts their privacy at risk. And obviously in here, in this tweet, she quoted all the way to privacy at risk, which I would have to, or anyone would have to, if they care about their own privacy and they don't want to give that up to a site, a third party, or the government.
They've been having a complete meltdown. As many of you know, your elected officials in Texas are requiring us to verify your age before allowing you to access this website. Fine. Not only does this impugn on the rights of
device age-based verification means they have more access to you and more access to your phone, and they know more about you with the fingerprinting of your phone. And they have some kind of an algorithm to actually be able to identify your device as a unique device. So they know exactly who you are, which spills over in many other different content, right? So it's not just related to that hub content, but anything else from Facebook to Google to any other third-party websites. They get to see that from the trackers and the cookies and the IP and the device ID and the Apple ID or the Google ID and many other things. Just like Palantir. We've seen Palantir, how they have all your data. They literally know more about you than you know about yourself.
Approach to age verification where the personal information that is used to verify a user's age is either shared in person at an authorized retailer. You know, like when you buy alcohol or cigarettes, you have to show them in your ID. I didn't hear anybody whining about their identities then. If you want to buy these things online,
you're comparing apples to oranges and you're saying, oh yeah, they're the same thing. So you yourself were caught with search history that was a little bit too spicy for even YouTube. And you yourself were trying to keep it private. You couldn't keep it private and you were caught and people exposed you on many different videos. So why didn't you just show that publicly? Why didn't you talk about it publicly? Unless you're just trying to stay private, which I actually have no problems with. I think in buying alcohol or cigarettes, anyone could do that in public. But if you saw someone beating it or watching some hub on their phone in public, do you think it's the same? Do you think it's acceptable? Would you be okay with that if they're the same thing? Why not just age verify that? Because we age verify cigarettes and alcohol? Is that how you do it, right? That's how you see it.
When they ship it to you, I don't know how it is in your state, but in my state, you need someone over 21 and you have to show your ID when you buy it. Or not when you buy it, I don't think, but when you get it delivered, they check your ID. Again, is this about the undocumented visitors? We can't get access to them? So all these websites are like trying to frame it as it's been banned, but this is literally the hub just saying, we don't want to do the bare minimum to make sure kids aren't using our website.
Yes, you are correct. I agree with you. They don't want to do the bare minimum. It's their rights to do so. They're a private entity. I'm not for them. I think it's all terrible. I think it's owned by the same people that own Hollywood and own a lot of other things and own the banks and own the Federal Reserve that we can't talk about. And I think it's awful. They cause a disservice. And we've seen in many different videos how these people deliberately just destroy the society from within. How they work on destroying relationships, how they just don't want us as human beings to succeed in life. That's their main purpose. So yes, I would agree with you on that, but I don't think that this is the only issue we're having here.
We make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. We have a huge problem, by the way, which was also exposed this summer with people's videos, unwilling participants in videos ending up on those websites, things like that. Nobody cares about that, right? It's as conservative of a view.
So nobody cares about that, but somehow the government cares about that. You think the government really cares about you? You think the government gives two shit about you and your kids, right? You think the government doesn't want to take your kids away and destroy lives. You think the government is not bought and sold by other people, right? You think the government is really here to help, right? Ronald Reagan, I think he said the 9 most terrifying words in the English language. I am from the government and I'm here to help. You somehow see that as a good thing, right? Not the parents. You never, at no point, you mentioned the parents should be taking responsibility of that. Especially there's so many different sites that they did not actually ban or shut down or care about age verification. It's just this one.
Look, I am not some weird, I don't think I want to be careful with this. I don't have as conservative of a view on these type of videos as some people. I think, just like anything, moderation. Sometimes you just got to get the poison out.
I don't know about moderation. I think this is just garbage. So maybe not moderation. It's best to be with your woman than to just beat it. That's just a fact.
Also, though, I acknowledge that they are not good for relationships. They do not set a man up who consumes this, and likely women too.
Agreed 100%. They're not good for anything. They're meant to actually not be good. They're meant to just cause more dopamine rush in a specific way that triggers different response. So when you're with your lady, you're not feeling as good.
For good relationship goals, they don't set you up for realistic bedroom expectations. People forget that most people aren't hammering away for 45 minutes. Things like that.
Talk about yourself.
They commodify women. They make just too much access to this kind of stuff, warps young men's minds, and I just don't think it's great. And would I ban it? I don't know if I would go that far. Maybe some of my viewers would, but I'm not going to sit here and defend it. Like this individual who is getting absolutely dragged. Texas did not ban these type of videos. They enacted a requirement that websites that offer this type of content verify the age of people trying to access it. Why do you have a problem with this? I don't imagine defending kids having access to this. You're gross. This person says trans talking about.
I see people melting over the comments. In the comments section, I see people melting, but I don't see anybody addressing the elephant in the room. There, at no point in this tweet, there's mention of anything about the kids. So what part? It's like George Bush days. Oh, you're either with us or you're with the terrorists. No, I'm not with you and I'm not with the terrorists. I just don't agree with your behavior and approach, and I don't agree with theirs either. Quoting what the hub is saying, there isn't any issues about that specifically that I can think of.
I'm not going to sit here and defend it. Like this individual who is getting absolutely dragged. Texas did not ban these type of videos. They enacted a requirement that websites that offer this type of content verify the age of people trying to access it. Why do you have a problem with this?
I just explained why. It's the age verification. You even mentioned why.
I don't imagine defending kids having access to this. You're gross. This person says,
Nobody wants kids to have access to this. I don't think that person actually said anything about having kids access to this. I think the main issue is the age verification.
trans talking about kids watching these type of videos, Malo, explain to me like I'm in third grade, why you pro grooming, all this kind of stuff. It's I think we've gotten just a little too lax around this type of content, a little too positive about this type of content, like OF stuff. We've gone from like not publicly shaming these people, which we probably should still do, to essentially worshiping it and uplifting it. We've gone way too far the other direction, where
Oh yeah? So did you get publicly shamed also when you looked at your own search history?
young kids are waiting until their 18th birthday so they can put it all out there on the internet, and nobody cares to think about the long-term repercussions. And like you look at these people are mad that Texas banned kids from watching this type. Is this person a groomer? TheQuartering writes, that's me. All they had to do is the bare minimum not to market this stuff to kids and refuse. I'm curious why you're not more outraged about that.
I'm outraged. I'm not outraged about that. Well, who said that they're not outraged about that? I think people should be outraged about it because the government is the one that is protecting it, right? And the government is not doing anything about the other sites. So why is that double standards here? Why would the government be in control of that and not the parents? Your life, you should absolutely have some kind of authority over your children, your family at home, including you're responsible for protecting your kids from illicit drugs, from content that they shouldn't be watching, from things that they shouldn't be hearing until they're aged enough to make their own decisions.
TheQuartering writes, that's me. All they had to do is the bare minimum not to market this stuff to kids and refuse. I'm curious why you're not more outraged about that, who are not really enraged by the efforts to keep kids away from accessing.
I just see people outraged about the comment, but I don't see people are addressing the elephant in the room. So it's kind of sad.
This kind of media opinion. Other than that, it's very bizarre that any
I'm not defending that person. I'm not defending anybody. I just think that you guys are being very disingenuous here.
adult would be standing on that hill and being like, kids should have access to this stuff. Now, is there a way to, obviously, again, to summarize, kids will always still get access to it. There's no stopping it.
We're on an agreement here.
There's no, VPNs are a thing. I do think it's weird how everybody's framing this like the hub is, standing on some kind of hill where they're fighting the fight for free speech. It's not a free speech issue. I don't think it's
a free speech issue. It's just the government is basically picking on them. That's what it seems to me like, because they're not doing anything about any other sites.
It's unreasonable to not want, kids having access to this stuff. Like, legitimately. I don't think that that's an issue. People, and most people agree, not hating this artistic message, LOL. It's just don't make it so easy for kids to access it. That's all they're asking. And the fact that you're pushing back against it says a lot about what you might think about the people that are watching your videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't,
What do you think, guys? Leave me a comment below, and if you disagree with me, I would love to know why you disagree with me and what part exactly do you disagree with me on. My point here to summarize is the government should be prohibiting something that is not affecting anybody but adults, and the kids that are getting involved in this should be monitored by their parents, and breaching of privacy and age verification doesn't do anything. What about all the other websites, all the other hubs out there that nobody's talking about, nobody's doing anything about? And yes, kids will find one way or another, unless you're the parent and you're taking a closer look at your kids and you have like some kind of a parental control devices or applications on your phone and computer at home and outside, where you can continue to monitor your kid and prevent them from doing anything illicit or bad. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. Until next time, I'm out.